All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. What's up, everybody? All my people in Manhattan, the Bronx, Queens, all the way out to Staten Island, my home borough, Brooklyn. Back out with another video. And as we all know, recently, former MVP and All-Star level point guard Derrick Rose announced his retirement from the NBA after a 16-year NBA career. And it's very sad how Derrick Rose's career ended. If you remember how it started, I mean, this dude was one of the best and one of the most popular players in the entire NBA at his peak. I mean, Derrick Rose probably was the most popular player in the NBA at his peak, and that's saying a lot. He peaked early, unfortunately for him, and he peaked during the time of LeBron James and Kobe Bryant and Melo and D Wade and Dwight in Orlando. Dwight was also a very popular player. A lot of people may forget that as well. But Derrick Rose was when I first started watching basketball. Even though I'm a Knicks fan, Derrick Rose was one of my absolute favorite players. He was so fun to watch. He was so athletic. He was like John Moran, Russell Westbrook before John Russ. You know what I mean? How people look at John Moran today or before, all the issues with John came about. Excuse me. That's what Derrick Rose was in the early 2010s. And this dude was an absolute monster in his prime. He looked to be the savior for the Bulls franchise. The Bulls franchise that was completely moribund after the retirement of Michael Jordan in '98. I mean, they had a couple good years in the playoffs with Ben Wallace, but they weren't looked at as a championship caliber team. But Derrick Rose changed all that. Of course, Derrick Rose is from Chicago, so he looked at kind of like how LeBron was looked at as the guy from Akron, Ohio, who's going to go to the Cavaliers and lead them to the promised land. That's how Derrick Rose is kind of looked at. A lot of great NBA players are from Chicago, by the way. Isaiah Thomas from the Pistons, Maurice Cheeks, Tim Hardaway Sr., Anthony Davis, Dwayne Wade. A lot of great players came out of Chicago. But anyway, we get back to Derrick Rose. Okay, he was drafted number 1 overall in the 2008 draft, the same draft class as Russell Westbrook and Kevin Love, to the Chicago Bulls. His first year, he averaged 16.8 points a game, so out of 17, 6 assists and 4 rebounds, and the Chicago Bulls to a 41-41 record, where they subsequently lost in the first round to the defending NBA champion Boston Celtics in 7 games. Though Derrick Rose was named Rookie of the Year anyway. The second year, he led the Bulls to the playoffs again, where they were gentlemen swept 4-1 by the Cavaliers in the first round. But the third year, I mean, again, talk about guys peaking early. Derrick Rose probably peaked early. His second year, he averaged 25 points a game, 8 assists a game, 4 rebounds a game. Led the Chicago Bulls a 61-21 record, the best record since the Jordan era. The number 1 seed, and Derrick Rose was subsequently named the MVP of the entire league. You see here he's in a ceremony. Like I said, Derrick Rose, again, was probably the most popular player in the NBA at his peak. And again, that's saying a lot, because keep in mind, this is the same year, this was LeBron's first year in Miami, and the Heat were looked at as villains, particularly LeBron, for betraying the Cavaliers, the team that drafted, and all that bullshit. So Kobe was kind of on the decline, was at the end of his prime. So, but Derrick Rose, like I said, Derrick Rose probably, arguably, the most popular player in the NBA at his time, and the most fun to watch, because again, he was very athletic, and he was kind of I would say a pure point guard. He was I think a better playmaker than say Russ at his peak and John Morant now. Now, like I said, D Rose was just absolutely incredible. But unfortunately, they got gentlemen swept again by a LeBron team, the Miami Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals, 4-1. Disappointing end to a very fun and exciting year, but the futures look great in the Windy City. Came back in 2012. Of course, that was the lockout year. The season was shortened to 50 games. I believe the Bulls. The season was shortened to 66 games. Pardon me, I said 50 games. The season was shortened to 66 games. I believe the Bulls had won 50 that year. I believe they won 50 games that year. It looked like we were headed for a rematch in the conference finals, possibly between the Bulls and the Cavaliers. Of course, this is one of my favorite Derrick Rose moments ever. This was at the 2012 All-Star game when LeBron, Dwight, D Wade, and Melo were all dancing to Meek Mills like a boss. Derrick Rose is standing there like, look at these niggas, man. Oh, man. That was a fun year in the NBA. But unfortunately, it all went downhill for the Chicago Bulls when in the playoffs against the Philadelphia 76ers, Derrick Rose was injured. and this was the beginning of the end of Derrick Rose. I mean, he kept getting injured, and I believe he missed the entire 2012-13 season. Only played 10 games of the following season. Like, it was the fall of Derrick Rose, and it was kind of sad. And Derrick Rose became a joke around the NBA. You know, like if the wind blew, Derrick Rose tore his Achilles, or you know, if he stubbed his toe, he was going to be out for 50 games. You know, he kind of became a joke around the NBA. It was kind of sad and unfortunate. But it all started with this injury right here against Philadelphia. Yeah, you see right here, Derrick Rose ranks, despite all his injuries, he was still a very popular player. See, Derrick Rose ranks among leaders on the NBA most popular jersey list. We'll read this real quick. 10-time NBA All-Star LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers has secured the top spots as the NBA's most popular jersey and team merchandise, respectively, based on overall sales from Adidas and NBAstore.com from October 2014 through December 2014. This marks the fifth consecutive time James has claimed the number one position on the list, and his second such as a member of the Cavaliers. At number 2 on the list was Golden State Warriors station Steph Curry. Of course, this was Steph's MVP year. His successful season propelled him from the number 7 spot. Rounding out the top 5 was OKC Thunder's Kevin Durant, number 3. The Lakers, Kobe Bryant, number 4. And Derrick Rose, number 1 jersey was ranked at number 5. See that, man? Guys like Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Kobe Bryant, declining Kobe Bryant, LeBron James. That's where Derrick Rose was looked at as a top 5, top 10 player in his prime, at his peak, in terms of popularity and just overall play. That's how great this man was. You know, this was probably Derrick Rose's last great moment as a Chicago Bull. In the 2015 playoffs, he had a game-winning shot against the Cavaliers, and then you see him there. I don't know if you guys can see, but Derrick Rose just has a plain face. Like, whatever, it's no big deal. For all you who don't know, Derrick Rose is an introvert. Derrick Rose said himself he was an introvert. He's like a more exciting version of Kawhi Leonard. I'm just playing, but I'm saying. But like I said, this was probably Derrick Rose's last great moment as the Bulls, because the 2015-16 season was his last as a Chicago Bull. And after that, he was traded to my New York Knicks. After an unsuccessful season, he was traded again to the Cavaliers, and I believe at the trade deadline, they just completely scraped that roster, and he was sent to the Minnesota Timberwolves, where he had probably his last great moment overall in his career. So Derrick Rose, the guy who became a joke because he was getting injured all the time, the guy who was kind of plain face, although fun to watch, plain face, and became a joke. He scored 50 points as a member of the Minnesota Timberwolves, and NBA fans rejoiced because, like, Derrick Rose is back, or wow, Derrick Rose had a 50-point game. That was so incredible to watch. Oh my God, Derrick Rose, he's been through hell. And it was a great moment to watch. It was great, for me at least. For me and a lot of other fans, it was a great moment to watch see Derrick Rose get 50 points, and as you can see, he was clearly emotional about it because of all the shit he had gone through. I believe he was on the Timberwolves for a few more years, and I think he got traded to the Jazz, I think, or to the Pistons somewhere. No, he went back to the Knicks for a while, but he spent his last season on the Memphis Grizzlies. You know, and now he's announcing retirement. It's the end of Derrick Rose as we know it. How great was Derrick Rose? Like I said, at his peak, one of the most popular and best players in the NBA. And, you know, unfortunately, he's going to be known as one of the greatest what-ifs in NBA history. You know, kind of him and Penny Hardaway. You know, Grant Hill and Tracy McGrady, you know, at least with Grant Hill and T-Mac, they were still able to make the Hall of Fame and have Hall of Fame careers. I don't think Penny Hardaway or Derrick Rose will ever make the Hall of Fame, which is unfortunate. I believe if I remember correctly, every player in the NBA who's won the MVP has been inducted into the Naismith Hall of Fame. I think Derrick Rose might be the first former MVP not to go there. And it's very unfortunate, very sad. But guys, if you're my age, tell me, was Derrick Rose your favorite player or one of your favorite players? Let me know in the comment section down below. The Chicago Bulls fans, sorry, I mean this is supposed to be your guy, but you know, things happen. But don't forget, click the like button, subscribe. Derrick Rose, congratulations on a career. It could have been an all-time great career, but hey, I mean, he accomplished something that a lot of players will be able to accomplish. So he should be good with that. He's an MVP, multiple-time All-Star. He had a very good to great career. See y'all.